Truth, right and wrong, who really decides? Is it a fact? Is it other people? Or is it ourselves? In this video, we'll explore this question through philosophy and psychology, how to judge if a decision is right or wrong, and what to do when we realize we've made the wrong choice. We face this confusion all the time. The same soccer match, some say the referee favored Team A, others swear he favored Team B. The same news story. Some people rage share it thousands of times. Others shrug like it's nothing. The same sentence. To one person it feels like helpful advice. To another it feels like an insult. So here's the question. Who is right? Who is wrong? The Greek philosopher Protagoras said, "Man is the measure of all things." What he meant is, truth doesn't fall from the sky as some objective answer. Truth exists in human perception and interpretation. Back then, this was an intellectual earthquake. It challenged the Greek belief that truth was singular and objective. Even today, this thought still unsettles us. Why can truth look so different in different people's eyes? This is not only a philosophical issue, it's also a psychological one. It shapes how we see the world, how we relate to others, and even how we define our own lives. So today, let's explore. Does truth depend on the individual? And how can modern people find a truth that belongs to them? He said, man is example. 15 degrees Celsius. For someone in Norway, that's almost summer weather. For someone in Italy, it feels like autumn is coming. So, is 15 degrees cold or warm? The measure of all things. In other words, the world isn't about what it objectively is, but about how we perceive it. The answer depends on who is feeling it. Truth, then, is not fixed. It is relative. What's true for you may not be true for someone else. Psychology has plenty of evidence backing this up. Perceptual relativity. The same picture, some see a rabbit, others see a duck. Facts don't change, but perception does. Framing effect. A doctor says, this surgery has a 90% survival rate. You feel optimistic. If the doctor says this surgery has a 10% death rate, you feel nervous. Same numbers, different feelings. Confirmation bias. If you believe in horoscopes, you remember when they're accurate and ignore when they're not. Your brain filters reality to fit your beliefs. Ash's conformity experiment. When everyone gives the wrong answer, you doubt yourself and follow the group, even when you know they're wrong. All of this shows the world we see is actually our brain's version of reality. Truth is not pure fact, it's facts plus human interpretation. Philosophy asks, what is truth? Psychology asks, why do we think this way? Protagoras highlighted the subjectivity of truth. Psychology reveals the mechanisms behind it. So today we must admit, truth is not purely objective. It is the result of interaction between people and the world. So what does this mean for us? 1. Why disagreement is normal. At work, the same boss. One employee calls him strict, another says toxic. In love, the same act, one person calls it romantic, another says controlling. On social media, the same post, some give it likes, others leave angry comments. It's not that one side is wrong, it's that everyone is using a different scale. Real example, a couple constantly argues about whether to report daily whereabouts. The woman thinks reporting is true love. The man thinks true love is trust. I shouldn't have to explain everything. Both insist they're right, and in fact, both are because they're measuring love with different rulers. When you understand this, you argue less, because you realize in their eyes their truth is true. 2. Find your own standard. The most dangerous life you can live is one run by other people's standards. People say, by 30 you must buy a house. By 40 you must marry. Success equals money and status. But is that really your truth? Or just someone else's? Look at social media. The same news event. Some shout unforgivable. Others argue misunderstood. Some cry absolute justice. Others say understand the context. One story, two extreme truths. If you don't have your own standards, you'll be swept away by noise. Protagoras reminds us, if man is the measure of all things, then you must discover your own measure. 3. Question authority. Today, whoever is loudest gets to define truth, but truth only counts when it passes through your own thinking. Psychology warns us, blind obedience leads to conformity traps. In the workplace, a young employee says overtime is exploitation. Older staff say overtime is loyalty. Both come from authority voices. If you don't think for yourself, you'll just absorb other people's truth. So, whenever you hear everyone says, Ask yourself, is this fact or just the majority's feeling? 4. Avoid falling into nihilism. Some fear, if truth is relative, then nothing matters. Not so. Relativism doesn't mean nothing counts. It means acknowledge differences while still seeking consensus. Psychologist Carl Rogers said, "To understand another person's world does not mean giving up your own." Truth is precious because it requires humans to give it meaning. Take AI today. Some say AI is a tool to free productivity. Others call it a monster that steals jobs. AI itself is just technology. But human interpretation creates two truths. So the point is not truth doesn't exist. The point is truth must be tied to humans, but also supported by reason, logic, and values. Now take a moment to ask yourself, work, your proposal gets rejected. You feel unappreciated. A coworker says, the boss is just strict, not dismissing you. Question, is your measure at work recognition or challenge? Love, you want your partner to text back instantly. They believe love doesn't need constant proof. Question, is your measure of love security or freedom? Social media, you see a news post. Half say absolutely wrong, half say everyone misunderstood. Before sharing, ask, am I spreading truth or emotion? Life, look back at your goals. Were they really what you wanted? Or what society, parents, peers told you to want? Whose ruler are you living by? There's no single right answer, but reflecting on these is already the start of finding your truth. So how do we actually do this? Here are 3 practical exercises you can start today. 1. Write your 3 personal truths. Grab a notebook. Write down 3 truths you genuinely believe. For example, health is more important than wealth. Relationships should bring growth, not drain me. I only compare myself to yesterday's me. Why write it down? Psychology calls this value clarification. When you put your values on paper and revisit them, your brain starts aligning your actions with them. Next time you face a choice, compare it to your 3 truths. E.g., should I work until 2 a.m.? But it breaks truth number 1. Health comes before wealth. So the decision is clear. Update your truths monthly. If they've changed, that means you've grown. Do the 7-day challenge. Find your personal truth. Spend 1 week bringing your attention back to yourself. Day 1. Write what made you angry today. What value did it touch? Day 2. Ask a friend their truth. Don't argue, just record. Day 3. List 3 rules forced on you. Must marry, must buy a house, then cross them out. Day 4. Recall your proudest choice. What value is behind it? Day 5. In an argument, first say, I see it that way in your eyes. Notice the shift. Day 6. Write 3 sentences about what matters most now. Day 7. Compare day 1 and day 6. How has your self-understanding changed? After 7 days, you'll notice repeating themes. If respect keeps appearing, that's your core value. If freedom matters most, that's your guiding principle. If growth defines your pride, then growth is your truth. Now, pick 3 to 5 keywords. Turn them into your 3 personal truths. Then test all future decisions against them. 3. The stop technique. It's a psychology tool. Imagine you're in a group chat. Someone insults you. Your fingers fly, ready to send a long, angry reply. Hold first. Apply stop technique. S-smart stop, don't hit send. Tear, take a breath. Breathe deeply 3 times. Zero. Observe. What are you feeling? Anger, shame, the urge to prove yourself. PR, proceed. Decide calmly, do I reply? If yes, what's my goal? To win or to solve? Why does it work? Because stopping pulls you out of automatic reaction. It lets you respond based on values, not emotions. Example. If your value is respect, you might reply, I hear you, but I disagree. If your value is freedom, maybe you don't reply at all. You don't want to be trapped in pointless fights. Later reflect. If I hadn't stopped, what would have happened? Now that I did, what changed? Do this often and you'll form a habit of calm clarity. These aren't lofty theories. They're practical exercises. Your 3 personal truths. Your 7-day challenge. Your stop pause. Step by step, you take the truth back from others and return it to yourself. Truth may not be singular, but life must have a standard that belongs to you. Protagoras reminds us, don't blindly follow other people's right or wrong. Truth isn't in the sky, it's in your heart. When you find your own measure, you won't be swept away by the crowd. You'll walk firmly on your own path. If this video gave you something to think about, comment below. What is one standard you measure your life by? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, let's live by our own measure, our own sense of right and wrong.